So your Sims could get married here. Get married. Oh my gosh. Your Sims could get buried here. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Or if you're new here, welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to be giving you an update on the no CC save file that we're working on. I have been working in this save file constantly. I know you guys, it's been a while since you've seen progress, but that's what we're going to be going over today. I'm going to be showing you everything that I've been working on, and we're just going to dive in and talk about it. So if you take a look at our households, all of the households have been updated. They all have jobs, they all have skills, they all have preferences, they all have everything. You name it, everything. I love to make sure that all of my families are like fully fleshed out. I can't wait for you guys to get in there and play with them. I can't wait to get into the drama of it all. For the scope of this save file, we're only focusing on Willow Creek and Newcrest and a little bit of Magnolia Promenade. For Magnolia Promenade, I have been working on like a little kind of downtown district area, like kind of a small town vibes. Really nice. I've play tested some of it, and there's changes to be made. For Newcrest, it's more suburbia. All of this is like based on small town suburbia. So if you guys are familiar with my small town save file, you may see some houses that are familiar, but or not. But yeah, and then we have some businesses over here, but I'm getting ahead of myself because I'm so excited. Let's just start with the Foundry Cove area of Willow Creek. Okay, so here we are in Foundry Cove, and it's actually a really beautiful morning. So it's like 6 o'clock, and I love Willow Creek in like the early morning. It just looks so nice. But I decided to pop over here to the Singleton household. So the Singleton household is actually Denise and Demi. And the reason I decided to start with them is because their house is actually one of the only houses that is done, furnished on the inside. So this is just what it's looking like. It's like really nice. Denise is a lawyer. She's actually in her daughter's room right now, and she has a teen daughter named Demi. So I really like the dynamic of this family. Demi is the captain of the cheerleading team, and her room is a mess right now, but I love her room. Out of all of the rooms that I've furnished so far, I love her room. I try to keep it simple, especially with like in terms of like clutter and everything, just because I don't know. I don't want the game to lag or anything. I know that having a lot of clutter around can cause the game to lag. So I try to keep it minimal but cluttered, if that makes sense. Like, I don't know, just like minimal clutter. That's all I can say. But yeah, this is their home, and I really like this house. Let's see what the walls up. I know some of you love walls up. As you guys can see, I always tell you that I always play with half walls. So if it's not something that's going to stay, like the calendar is always visible, if it's not, or a mirror or something, if it's not always visible, it's likely not on the walls. So if I put the walls up, it's bare. Yeah, and that's just because like the back of the walls are none of my business. You know what I mean? But you guys can feel free to like change this or do whatever you want. I do like their garage is on the side. I do have a note about the garage. So the garages are custom content. That's the only thing in the game that's custom content. I also have like the cars by Max. Those are the only two pieces of custom content that I used in this save file. So I know I say no CC save file, but I'm hoping guys that the restoration pack that we're going to get, we're supposed to be getting some packs in May, I believe, some kits. And one is like a repair workshop kit. I'm hoping that some garages come out with that kit because yeah, I can replace these and then it would totally be CC free. You know what I mean? I hate to say CC free and then you guys are like missing garages. That's not cool. And I know we have like the little gray metal garages, but it's just not like a residential garage. You know what I mean? Anyway, that's a long tangent about garages, but here's our neighbor. This is Aubrey. I feel like her name's Aubrey. Oh, Adrian. Sorry. Her daughter's name is Aubrey. But this is Adrian. She is a nurse and she lives right here. She's a single mom. She has 2 children. And then we have a family over here. It's a doctor and his wife is a romance consultant. And they have 2 sons, a teen son and a child son. And then we have the Myers family. You guys may be familiar with the Myers family. It's a grandma, her daughter, and then her grandchild. And Miss Lynn owns a daycare, so she actually has like an in-home daycare that she like runs back here. I don't know if you guys can see it like in the windows, but this is her little daycare back here. And then you have the Duncans. You guys may remember the Duncans. I showcased them a few times on the channel, but they own a funeral parlor. Not really, because I didn't make the funeral parlor in the game. Oh, look at the roof. I need to move that over. See, and this is why it's a work in progress, you guys. See, stuff like this. But yeah, it's just a elder couple and their young adult son. And then we have a residential rental right here. So I know that residential rentals have been acting up in some people's save files, but they've been just fine for me. So let me know if that actually occurs for you. I can probably change it. But yeah, this is the Hudsons. It's kind of like a techie creative family live here. And I forget their last names, but a business couple and their teenage daughter live here. If we open the gallery, I actually created, let me go to my library. You guys are about to see all of my dirty laundry. Don't look. But I recently created these two homes to replace this lot. And I think I'm going to do that because I like these homes that I built. And I might replace, I think I'm going to replace this. I'm not really feeling these. I really don't like the pitch of the roof that much. I don't like how they don't really have a front porch. They're cute. The homes are cute. I'm going to save them to the they're on my gallery, I think. Anyways, that's a long tangent. But this is Foundry Cove. This is Foundry Cove. Another thing I wanted to mention about the save file is that each family has a pet, a dog to be specific, but and it's really stereotypical. I based it on the type of dog that I think that they would have. Like, I don't know. I just love it. I know that we don't really I don't really see a lot of people with like pets in their games. A lot of people do, but I never really see save files that incorporate pets in the family. So I just wanted to make sure that every family has a pet. I just thought that would be cute to see people walking around the neighborhood with their cute animals. So this is Docket. You guys know I love alliteration names in the save file. So the D's continue. We have Denise, we have Demi, and we have Docket. And the reason we named him Docket is because Denise is a lawyer. So yeah, I just thought it fits. It just fits the family. So that's it. I also wanted to point out the fact that when Businesses and Hobbies came out, I did update everybody to kind of incorporate some clothing and styles from Businesses and Hobbies. I also gave families that I thought would have a business, actual businesses. So Miss Lynn's daycare down the street is actually a daycare. You can actually go there, and I just think that's so sweet. So along with businesses, I also wanted to point out the fact that clubs are done. So I was able to create my own clubs. I deleted all of the normal clubs that come with the game, and I created my own clubs that fits the small town that I envision. So Demi is the leader of the Spirit Squad, which is a group of cheerleaders in the game. So we have Eliza, Catherine, Shayla, Fallon, and Taylor. They are the Spirit Squad, and let's just take a look at all of the clubs. Okay, so here are the clubs that I created. So we have the Chamber of Commerce, which is basically a member-driven organization focused on business advocacy. So pretty much like business leaders in the world. But the thing about the Chamber of Commerce is it's kind of ran by like the sketchy business people of the world. So yeah, it's not, we have some we have some good people in there, but Elliot is like just not, he's the leader and he's just not the best leader. Let's just say that. We also have City Council. The Willow Creek City Council oversees the local policies. So you guys know that my simkhira small town save file focused a lot on like the political side of things. We had a mayor election, and Mayor Brooks won for a third term, and this guy, Cordell, his dad lost but you know, he's still an intern in politics. Lynn is a young political figure. She lives down the street. Paige is also in charity work. Glenda is in charity work, and Georgia is in charity work. So Georgia is actually Glenda's daughter-in-law. So yeah, this is the city council. These people oversee the local policies and public initiatives. And then we have the Code Collective. There's 13 clubs, and I don't have to go through all of them, but you guys may be interested. So we have the Code Collective, which is a club for tech enthusiasts. And yeah, I think this is a good club if you want to collaborate with and get involved in programming or video gaming or anything like that. So we have Neil and Drew. They kind of co-founded this club together, but Neil's the leader. And we didn't have any members, but I guess the MC Command Center, like club population, placed these people in the club, which is kind of cool. Then we have the Construction Coalition. You guys know that the small town is based on a lot of like hard workers and a lot of repairmen, a lot of handymen, a lot of just, you know, blue collar jobs. And so we have Langston here, who is the lead of that. A union of tradespeople advocating for fair wages, safe job sites, and a better future. So we have Langston, we have Alan, Emmett, Jamie, Nate, Seymour, Langston, and Harrison. And these guys love to get together and woodwork and drink bar drinks and be funny and tell jokes. The requirement is you have to be a manual laborer or handy person or a civil designer. Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. And it's just a nice group of like guys that hang out. We also have the Homeowners Association of Willow Creek, and they're determined to ensure that all residents maintain their property value. Really, it's just like all of the snootiest women you can think of in the town. And that is led by none other than Evelyn. What's her last name? Oh my gosh, how could I forget? But you guys know that Evelyn was showcased in one of our kit reviews. And she is just a hot mess. But we have Evelyn, Georgia, Melissa, Faye. Nancy Landgrab would be in here too. Nia and Naoki. So, I don't know. They just be friendly. That's not true. Give speeches, debate people, be mischievous. I don't know why I have friendly on here. Because then they'd be mischievous and then mean. Maybe they're just shady. Who knows? Maybe that's where I was going with that. But you have to be nosy because you got to be in people's business, a snob, perfectionist, or mean. That's how I see the HOA. And then let's keep going. There's a few. We have the Literary League for those who like to live through 1,000 words. And that's just a board of ladies who like to read. It's kind of just like a book club, a writer's club. It's led by Bonnie, the mayor's wife, because she is a novelist. She is an author. And then we have Hillary, Kendra, Dawn, and Marcel. And all of these ladies are writers and like to read, and they get together and they talk about reading and writing. I think that's a great club to be a part of, obviously. And then we have the Llama Scouts. And the Llama Scouts, you guys know, this is kind of just like Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts. And we actually have a Llama Scouts Day on the calendar. I will be going through the calendar as well because I have a holiday for every day. But there's a method to my madness. So let's just. This is led by Parker Jones. And we have all of the girlies and boys in here for Scouts. And they just play on the playground equipment, use the science table, do their homework, perform puppet shows, and play marbles. And they have a lot of rules about what they can't do. Like you can't scare people and steal things and be mischievous and all of that. And they like to hang out at the park. And then we have the Medical Board, which is a coalition of the best board certified physicians in the area. And this is led by the doctor I told you lived down the street. Dr. Lloyd. We have Dr. Tate and Dr. Trinity. These two doctors are married. They live in Newcrest and they own a vet clinic. Yes, they really have a vet clinic. It's in the game. And then we have Nurse Jackie, Nurse Shannon, Adrian, our next door neighbor. I told you guys that she was a nurse. And we have Raven, who is also a nurse as well. And she lives in Newcrest. So they just kind of get together and have speeches and do research and use science objects and debate. They don't really have a club hangout. I don't really know where they would hang out. I wish you could select the hospital for them to hang out, but this is the medical board. I tried to make the clubs like job specific, if you guys can't tell, like basically job. And it pretty much covers like a lot of the population. So there's something for everyone for sure. We have the police academy. So as you guys know, they prepare the cadets with discipline and integrity. This club is led by Clarence Brooks, and then there's Calvin and Troy. You guys may remember Troy. He was featured on one of our reviews as well. They just like to drink bar drinks and play bar games and tell jokes. It's a police academy, but it's kind of just like the boys club. You know what I mean? So if you're police or a detective, you can join this club. And we also have the scrimmage squad, similar to the spirit squad. You guys know Demi is ahead of the spirit squad, but we also have the scrimmage squad, which is the football equivalent of the club. And that is led by Tyler. And then we have Andrew, Mason, Porter, Nathan, and Noah. And these guys obviously play football toss. They work out, they be friendly, they tell jokes, you know, teen boy stuff. Spirit Squad. And then we have the Bar Association. And the Bar Association is a prestigious group of attorney and legal professionals focused on the law. And this is led by Denise. So Denise leads this, and we have Caleb, Chastity, and Deepti. They are all lawyers in the game. If you guys saw my current household, you guys will know that my daughter-in-law, Amber, she is actually in the Bar Association because she's a lawyer. So yeah, some of these Sims may look familiar to you from that. So that's all of the clubs, and I love that. I love that. There's pretty much something for everyone. Okay, so I know that was a lot. There are a lot of clubs, and there's something for everyone. But as you guys can see, it is summer break in the game. And when you start off this save file, it will be summer break in the game. However, I do need to show you the calendar because I think the way that I did it, managed to do it, was kind of a little bit ingenious. So let's pull that up and let me show you. Okay, so I know this looks a little overwhelming, but there is a method to my madness. So I have the calendar set to the 28-day schedule, and there's 1 week per season, right? So for the summer months, I have everything from that happens in June, July, and August. For the fall months, I have everything that happens in September, October, November. And then for the winter months, I have everything that happens in December, January, and February. And then for spring, I have everything that happens in March, April, and May. So hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so right now we're in summer break. So we have, I think there's 3 days of summer break, if I'm not mistaken, followed by Simdependence Day, which is also a day out of school and work. And then you have Llama Scout Day. So Llama Scout Day is a good day because it's a day of baking, attending holiday ceremonies, and telling stories. I only put 3 holiday traditions per holiday because I don't like to overwhelm. I think it's easy enough for your Sims to just have like 3 things to focus on to do for the day versus like 5. And then you just feel like you can't even enjoy the day because you're too busy trying to do all of these traditions. And it becomes overwhelming. Also, it gives you guys room to add your own traditions. So then we have the Sim Olympics on that Saturday. So following the summer break and following Simdependence Day, which is like fireworks and barbecue, it's kind of like Independence Day, you know, that's on a Thursday. You have a Llama Scout Day, and then you have the Sim Olympics. Sim Olympics, you're going to watch sport TV, you're going to barbecue, and you're going to air some grievances. You know, direct, honest feedback is harsh, and it feels oh so good to get it off of your chest. So that's probably you complaining about somebody's team, and that's fine. And then you have the Fall Fest because it's the first day of fall on Sunday. So you might have a bonfire, invite some guests, tell some stories. I know it seems like a lot. Your Sims are going to barely be at work, but that's the point. I feel like in the game, like your Sims are always at work and you're just going through the grind of daily life. having so many opportunities to just live lets you enjoy your Sims, and that's just what I think. Also, you can still manually have your Sims go to work. If you decide that like summer break, I still want Denise to go do lawyer stuff, when it's time for her to go to work, you can still have her go to work. So I don't see a problem. You guys can delete some of these, but this is just how I see the calendar. Because after Sunday, and then you have Monday, which is Labor Day. Yep, so you're going to be off for like a week straight. And then you have Labor Day. And you're going to barbecue, and you're going to drink, and you're going to invite guests. And then you have Wellness Day, where you're probably cleaning up, or you're exercising, and you're appreciating objects, you know. Right on time for a Wednesday Spooky Day. I feel like Halloween is always like in the middle of the week. I don't know. It's either like in the middle or towards the end. But it's always on a school night. I know that for a fact. It's always on a school night. So you wear costumes, you trick or treat, you have a spooky spirit. Okay. And then you have Harvest Fest. So we're having a grand meal, we're inviting guests, we're being thankful. And then on that Friday, we have Rebate Day. Because right after Thanksgiving is Black Friday. You guys know that. So you appreciate an object, you attend holiday ceremony, or you can go on vacation or travel. And then after Rebate Day, we have Remembrance Day. And so you can remember the dead and tell stories about the dead and be thankful that you experienced life with, you know, your ancestors or not. And then after that is the first day of winter. So winter starts and it's Winterfest Eve. You're cleaning, you're decorating, you're getting your lights together. We are getting ready for Christmas or Winterfest, right? And so then on Monday, we have Winterfest. And you're in a festive spirit, you're giving gifts, you're opening presents. That's Winterfest. And then it's New Year's Eve. You guys see where this is going. You're in a party spirit, you're drinking, it's countdown to midnight. I don't think that's a day off work, so be prepared. And then you have the New Year's Day where you're making resolutions, you're cleaning, you're exercising, you're getting your life together. It's the first day of New Year's, so you know, we're getting it together. Then we have Will Write Day, right? And it's art and music spirit. This is kind of like the thinking to have Will Write Day in January, essentially, is MLK Day. So like Martin Luther King. Will Wright is our Martin Luther King. Okay, that's just that. So we have art and music spirit. We barbecue, we're drinking. You guys know how we get down on MLK. Then we have the Sim Bowl. It's sports TV, you're drinking, you're airing grievances. It's kind of like the Sim Olympics. This time we're going for the Sim Bowl. Then you have Love Day. It's Saturday night. You're in a romantic spirit. You're going on a date. You're watching your romantic TV. It's all about love. You were with the boys the day before. You're with your girl today. Or your partner. Let me stop. You're with your friend the day before and you're with your partner Saturday. Okay? And then we have daylight saving. Oh, this is daylight savings. Oh yeah, because it's the first day of spring. So it's daylight savings, which means you're fasting. And thought of fasting is like, you don't have to, but maybe you just forgot that it's daylight savings and you just forgot to eat at your normal time. That's what I consider fasting, because you don't eat any food for 6 hours. It's like, I forgot it was daylight savings. And then we have the air grievances. Everybody is in a bad mood on daylight savings because it's like you didn't get enough rest. Everybody's in a bad mood. Fighting can happen. That can happen. It's just the daylight savings just messes everybody up. You know that. And then we have spring break. Spring break, it's party spirit. You go on vacation and travel. You have water fun. You have 2 days of spring break. And then you have spring pranks. So it's spring break and then spring pranks. And the theory with that is April Fool's, kind of like where we are. I think I'm recording this video like a couple days after April Fool's. So mischief spirit, holiday gnomes, streaking. Maybe people are putting gnomes in your yard or in your house. Then you have Flower Bunny Day, which is kind of Easter. So you have flower bunnies and we're having an egg hunt and we're baking. And then we have Grandparents' Day because there's no other holidays in April, May. I don't know why, but there, like when I was looking this up, I did a lot of research for this calendar, you guys. I kid you not. I looked online and like looked at all of the like major holidays. If there were months without holidays, I'm like, okay, what are like little holidays that people celebrate? Like, you know, the not official ones. Grandparents' Day. So, thankful spirit, tell stories, give gifts. Let's not just remember them on Remembrance Day. Let's remember them and appreciate them while they're here. So that's Grandparents' Day. And then we have Memorial Day. And it's remembrance, it's barbecue, it's drinking. We're celebrating. Does that make sense? I know I told you guys it was a lot, but I thought I'm going to timestamp all of this in case you just want to fast forward through all of the mess. But I know some people like to listen to each holiday and they like to figure out, you know, how things were set up. So that's it. That's the calendar. Okay, so now that we went through like most of the biggies, I think I kind of just want to show you guys the other neighborhoods, what they look like so far, and talk about the families. So let's leave Denise to doing whatever she's doing. Obviously not cooking that well. And let's go check out some other things. Okay, so we are here in the Courtyard Lane neighborhood of Willow Creek. You guys may remember this from my current household. I actually moved them into this house right here. But the family in my No CC Safe Out that will be living here when you guys start are the Yorks. And I love, this is Ken York. His wife, Kelly York, is down here. And they have a teen daughter, Catherine York, who is also on the same cheerleading team as Demi. And then we have their daughter, Kristen York. And we also have their dog, Kintsugi. And the reason his name is Kintsugi is because Kelly is actually a pottery ceramicist in the game. So this little area that's our office in my current household is a pottery studio. So this is their house. You guys are well familiar with this house if you saw the current household. It's pretty much the same layout, just I have custom content and this doesn't. So yeah, I decided to show off this family because their house is also complete. So as you can see, we're still going with the whole cluttered, but like minimal clutter situation. Let me put the walls up so that you guys can see a little bit more. We're still going with like the clutter, minimal clutter sitch. And yeah, it's beautiful out here. They even have a little chicken coop. I feel like they would be into having their own chickens. I don't know. I feel like they just would. I think that's something that they would do. Oh, no. Some kids at school were being mean to you. Oh, or being mean to one of your friends. Did you step up and stand in for your friend or stay out of it? Stand up for your friend. Yeah, let them know. Oh, her manners decreased. I mean, well, oh well. You should probably stick up for your friend. You don't let nobody bully your friend. Yeah, I really like this household. And then when you come upstairs, I really like the upstairs because we have this little like area for the kids. I imagine a lot of teenagers hang out here. Catherine's room is over here. So this is like her little teenage room. They share a bathroom. So it's like a little Jack and Jill bathroom. This is Kristen's room. And then this is kind of like a little hangout space for the girls. So I can totally see them hanging out up here, inviting friends up here. It's just really nice. This neighborhood in general is really nice. I love all of the homes in this neighborhood. I mentioned this in my last video, but this little room, just ignore this. I actually built this room full of like items that I need to incorporate in all of the homes. It's just easy for me to like pluck this room from my gallery and decorate each home with all, so I'm not missing anything. Instead of just trying to remember all of the things I need to add, I have a room filled with things that I need. It's very efficient. I highly recommend it. But this is also another home that The Anthonys live here. That's Evelyn's. I was trying to think of Evelyn's last name. The Anthonys. They live here. So you can see Elliot, the shady business guy. He has a whole like sports car parked outside. Like, who does he think he is? But as you guys can see, the inside of some of these homes, I'm not done. But that's what I'm going to be doing with you guys. We're going to be finishing the interiors of all of the homes together. I usually like to work off camera because sometimes I'll just work on each house like alone by myself, like watching TV, watching other people vlog, you know, or watching other simmers play the game. So now that there's a heat wave in Willow Creek, let me show you guys the other neighborhoods and let's just continue our tour. Okay, so here we are in the Pendula View area of Willow Creek, and this is the Cromwell family. I'm actually not sure why Dawn has these blue shades on, nor why her son has these little sunglasses on. That's very weird, but anyways, this is the Cromwells. Oh, and look at him hugging his papa. So this is Dorothy, her husband Dale, their daughter Dawn, and their grandson Dylan. And this is their standard poodle Dean, who is very dapper. As you can see, they are very posh, elegant, luxurious. They live here. So this is their home, and this is the Pendula View area. This is their home. So the Cromwells live here. They own this entire property. It is a residential rental. Their daughter lives here. So this is Dawn and her son. They live in this home next door to their parents. But the Cromwells own this whole thing. So she pays her parents a little bit of rent to live there. But they're teaching her, you know, independence or whatever. Here we are, and this is their home. As you can see, it's bare bones. I pretty much did the interior, but it's not furnished yet. This is one of the homes that we're going to furnish together. I love this. This is so nice. Oh my gosh. That's another thing. So all of the quote unquote rich Sims in the game, they do have maids. I went ahead and hired a maid from my simkhira small service sims. If you guys know, I have created some NPC characters to replace like the maid, the butler, the handyman, the mailman, all of the things, all of the NPC characters. So this is Letty, and she is the maid, and I've already hired them for everybody. Everybody that wants one has one. I forget what family, the Gilberts live here. So it's another family split into two residential rentals, with the grandparents living here and the other kids living here. That's their neighbors. Across the street, we have a cemetery. So I figured a cemetery would be over here. We needed one, and this is what the cemetery is looking like. I kind of built this just on a whim. I was watching TV with my husband, and I'm like, building a cemetery. Building a cemetery. That sounds morbid now that I say it out loud, but building a cemetery. It has a mausoleum. So your Sims could get married here. Get married. Oh my gosh. Your Sims could get buried here if they wanted to, but they can get married over here because I'm actually making a wedding venue. I didn't know what to make this at first, and then I'm like, I like to play on the whole like life and death. So like marriage and death, beginning and end, you know, that little yin and yang. I like that. So here we are. This is a wedding venue. I'm not done with this yet, but so far so good. Really like it. And I just think that's a pretty spot to get married, because all of your pictures are going to look like this, right? Isn't that pretty? I like that. Okay. Yeah, we're not done with this venue yet. I still have some things to do on the interior, but we'll finish that together. We'll finish it together. I also wanted to point out that I put the Debug Church from the Business and Hobbies expansion pack here, because you can actually take a tour of this church. If you guys remember in my last update video, there was an actual church that I built here. But I think having the cemetery and then the walk-in church, as soon as I saw that little Debug Church that you can actually have a rabbit hole and walk through, take a tour of, I knew I wanted to put that there. So it was replaced. And yeah, so here we are. I do have to go through and figure out why they have on these sunshades. Where is that coming from? Is that a bug? Is it a glitch? And I'm going to have to fix it before. That's one thing I have to add to my list to fix. I love a good heat wave. Oh my gosh, she has on like random glasses too. What is happening? Something is going on. Why are all the Sims have... Do you have on random? Oh my gosh, you too? What is going on? Okay, you guys, the last thing I want to show you before we end this video is the Magnolia Promenade area, because I love this area so much. It just looks like small town USA, and I just want to show you all of the businesses that go on down here. Right now, this is classified as a bar. This area over here is like everything creative. We'll check that out too if you guys want to, but this is like a bar. And then this is going to be I forgot. I think I'm going to make this a thrift tea area. These two lots are still in progress. These two are still in progress because this is going to be like a gym area, but I don't want this ultra modern gym. I created this like ultra modern gym, but I decided I don't want that because everything else is like, you know, this is the vibe. So let me just pause so I can show you guys what this is. It's a bar right now, but I kind of want it to be a small business, and I might have the land grabs own it because I do want it to function as a small business. So let's just start over here. So over here, we have this jazz club. So when you come in here, you have a jazz club. Let me put the walls up so you guys can see. So yeah, this is just like a really smooth jazz club. We have like little saxophone on the wall. It does have jazz music playing. We have a piano and like entertainment. I just think this is like so nice for, I don't know, just like a classy like date night. Also, this is a game table, so you can like play cards here. I thought that was really cute. I forget what pack. I think that came with the Casanova Cave pack. You could play cards. I didn't know we had that game table, and when I discovered it, you discover a lot of things when you go no CC. Let me tell you that. There are so many things in this game. I'm like, I paid for this? What? But yeah, I just think this is like so nice, you guys. Like, look at it. That's cute. Also, back here, you have like this, I love the way I did this. You have like this little half open garage. It's supposed to be like one of those workout gyms, just like a grungy little boxing ring, kind of like where somebody would come in here just to practice. But you have to access this through the back, you know? So you kind of come through the back, go through this shady garage, and then you're in like some boxing arena. And, you know, I think that's cool. I think that's cool. There's something for everybody on this lot. This is just a empty storefront. You guys can run your own business from here, or it's just an empty storefront. I made sure to put janitor's closets everywhere so that you could mess around. I'm just kidding. I'm not kidding. This is a bakery. Let me just show you. Okay, you guys see how it's like 2-story. Isn't that cute? But this is a bakery, and you can just come here. And this is kind of why I want it to be a small business instead of a bar, because nobody's running the bakery, versus if it was a small business, somebody might be here. You know what I mean? So let me put the walls up so you guys could just like see what it looks like. Cute. And then we have this movie theater that I created. It looks like pretty old on the outside, but it's actually renovated on the inside. I like that we have like a little ticket booth right here. So like your Sims, looks like you can come to the counter and get tickets. I thought that was cute. You have a photo studio in here. You have the concession stand with the popcorn and the register. Look, it's like a little advertisement for Inferno movie. And then you come in here where they're showing the Inferno movie. And I love that I put the levels in the movie theater so you can actually step up and go up to your seat, or you can sit down here. We have the recliner chairs, you know. This is a good theater. This is a good theater. You also have the bathrooms across the way. So we have these modern stalls. These are my new favorite stalls in the game. They came with the Business and Hobbies expansion. And I love those stalls. And that's just the bathroom. And you also have your woohoo closet. I mean, janitor's closet. Yeah, so that's what this is looking like. I love it. There's nothing on the top floor of this one. So you have your jazz club, your empty retail space, your gym, your bakery, and your movie theater. And then when you come across the street, we have this cute children's museum. So this is a children's museum, which is basically where your kids can come to learn and play. And it's just so cozy in here. Obviously, you can sign them in and they can come over here and do arts and crafts, and they can read books, and you have like the crafting table. It's just so cute. They can play like Don't Wake the Llama. They have their science table. So this is just where kids can just grow and play. And I think it's so cute. They have this cute like little bathroom in here with a changing table, potty, toddler potty, all of the things. And this is a law office. This is a law office. It could be an office for anything. It's really just a general corporate office of some sort. This is what it looks like, bare bones. There's nothing here. And then when you go upstairs, you have like a lot of like cubicle spaces. You have like this like coffee bar over here, and you have two offices. So this is an office and this is a private office. And then you come back here and you have the office bathrooms. You have some like meeting spaces back here. And then you have a big room, meeting room, boardroom, with the new mentorship lecture board. So my thinking for this building is that if you work from home or have a job where you can come into an office, you can actually pluck your Sims from their home, bring them downtown, have them work in one of these spaces, and then afterwards you're already here. So it's kind of like a work and play. You could probably meet some friends down here and go to the jazz club and get some drinks. You can meet your family down here, take them bowling. You can meet a date down here, go to the movie theater. That was my thinking. You can kind of eat and play, work and play down here. So next we have this building, which is one of my favorites. This is the bowling alley. So you come in, obviously you check in right here. You come here, we have like this ping pong table, some places to sit, a darts board, and there's some stairs that'll lead you upstairs. But then you could come through here, and this is the bowling alley. So we have more seating, we have a karaoke station, we have some bathrooms back here. And we have places where you can sit and bowl with your friends and family. And it looks like Demi and her friends are down here. So they're probably going to start a game of bowling pretty soon. That was so cute. Let's enable moonlight bowling. Yes. So this is what it looks like for moonlight bowling. It's so cute. This is just a good place to like chill and hang out. I really love it down here. As you can see, I put speakers this is like a hip hop speaker. I put speakers to match the theme of each area. So in here we kind of have like kids music playing, but in here we have like hip hop music playing. I love that. So then when you come upstairs, the stairs are over here. You can come upstairs and there's an arcade. So you come upstairs and this is like your little prize area where you can get your prizes. But this is an arcade. So we have some Blick Block stations here. We have arcade games here. There's another bathroom up here. And yeah, some places to sit. Look, he's actually starting a Blick Block game. So yeah, this place is like actually really cool at night with like all of the lights and everything. I love the arcade. I love the arcade. There is like an exit door over here that somebody just came through. I think that's so funny. The thought here is like obviously an exit door But also, like, what if you're just like sneaking your friends in through the back? That's so funny. But yeah, here we are. And people do visit here and people hang out here. It's really nice. But I want them to do the task that I want them to do. So as you can see, we have a few people like at the bar hanging out. But I want people to like go to the movie theater and actually watch movies, or like go to the bowling alley and actually like bowl. So I think I'm going to make it a small business so that, and have it owned by the land grabs, so that I can set up those tasks for people to do. Bella, what are you doing here? So yeah, that's this lot. And then across the street, we have the art center, which I love. Let's just pop over there and visit the art center because I do want to show you guys what that looks like. Okay, so we are here at the art center, and am I tripping, or did like this turn like a different color? What is going on right now? Okay, so first things first, we have this florist shop on the corner, and I love this, the way this came out. Over here, so the whole purpose of this is so that you can focus on any and every creative hobby in the game. So here you can focus on flower arranging, and you can make arrangements, and like, isn't this just gorgeous? Let me put the walls up so that you guys can see. But this is what it looks like. Isn't this just gorgeous? I love the way this came out. It's stunning. And then we have like this little wind chime in here, which I'm assuming is going to make wind chime noises. But yeah, I use a lot of the Blooming Rooms kit, and I just think this is so precious. I love it. This lot is very tricky because you have a lot of these shared stairwells. So this lot shares a stairwell with the candle shop, which is next door. This is a candle making shop, and as you can see, obviously this is where you can focus on candle making. And yeah, you have your candles down here. Put the walls up. So it's almost like you craft and sell candles. I wonder, can you purchase this? No. See, I need to make these small businesses so we can purchase stuff. But you share this stairwell, and you come upstairs, and you can actually host your own candle making classes. So I put the lecture board up here so that you can host your own candle making classes, and I thought that would be really nice. There's also a bathroom up here. So that's how you get to the bathroom for the flower shop and for the candle making area. Okay, so that's the flower shop, and that's the candle making studio. This is a pottery shop, pottery, ceramic. This is a pottery studio, and I just think it's so nice. The thing I like about this is that it's open. So if I go to the second floor, you guys can see that you can look down, and there's a bar up here. So you can actually come up here and get a little drink, go to the restroom. But I just think this is a nice, serene space to come practice some pottery. And there's a lecture board, obviously, so that you can teach others if you want to take a pottery class. It's really nice. Have the kilns over here. And this shares a stairwell with the jewelry store. The jewelry store is next door. This is the jewelry store. I'm trying to show you guys like the exteriors and like the interiors. This is the jewelry store, and obviously I imagine you come here and get jewelry made. So this is like a custom jeweler. But obviously we have the jewelry making table from I always forget the names of all of the kits. Oh my gosh, I'm forgetting the name of it. But craft your own jewelry and design jewelry here. And I think that's really nice. Of course he would be in the jewelry store. Are you buying Evelyn some jewelry after you probably did something terrible to her? Probably. And then we have an art museum right here on the corner, which I really like. So this art museum actually has an exterior 2-story, so you can come up here from the outside and have an actual art studio. And look, it looks like they're doing like some painting with a twist or something. But yeah, you have like an actual creative studio up here. I used a lot of the artist studio kits, but the actual museum is down here, which is really nice. I curated I curated all of the images that you see on the walls so that they're very nice and aesthetically pleasing. So yeah, this is like a really nice museum. I love it. I love that people are actually hanging out up here. I never play tested this lot, so this is like my first time like playing in this lot, and I really like it. So then you come around this side of the building. Obviously, you just have somebody's tag in the garages. And then you come around here, and we have a record store. So this is the record store, and I love it because it's just like it just gives off like old like 90s vibes, and I don't know, I just think it's really cute. So this is what it looks like with the walls up. Adrian, not right now. But we pretty much just have like a record shop, and this is where you practice all things music. We have like a DJ booth over here. You go back here, we actually have a recording studio. You can only get to it from this door outside. So I probably should have showed you this room first because it's a recording studio. You come in here, you have the little DJ making where you can produce a new track. And then you have obviously where you can sing on the other side. Isn't that nice? It's kind of hard. It's a tight space because I was trying to fit so many things into one lot, but this is where you can come and record and DJ. So this is all things like music related. And then when you go upstairs, this big wide staircase is going to lead you to a children's theater. So even your children can come up here and practice performing. They can do like the violin, puppet shows. They can practice the piano. You can sign them up to do this stuff. And they can just come up here and just play and have a good time. You see the stage markings everywhere. I just thought this was just like a fun little magical space for children. And then last but not least, we have a photo studio. So you come in here. I used a lot of the Machino kit stuff. That's not a kit. It's actually a stuff pack. But yeah, you have a photography studio. And this is nice for when your Sims have to take wedding photos or prom photos or any professional photo that you want taken. Here you go. So yeah, that's what this looks like. So yeah, you guys, that's a full review of this lot. And now that Demi is absolutely miserable because I have made her go through all of these lots and she's just ready to go home. She's tired. She's over it. I think we're going to end this part right here. In the next part, we are going to be decorating the homes together, some of the homes. That's just going to be an ongoing series where we decorate homes. So with that being said, I will see you all in the next one. Bye, guys.